sec. I'm just going to do our Treaty 6 land acknowledgement. So we gather here today on Treaty 6 territory and just reaffirm our relationship with one another.
I was just going to ask if before we begin the meeting, we could have a moment of silence.
Yeah, we're going to get there. So I want to start with a few words first, and then we'll open up for if anyone else wants to say any other words, and then we'll do a moment of silence before we kick off the agenda today. So I don't have anything prepared. Quite emotional actually about it. Feel a bit sick about it as well. So I don't even know where I'm going to go with this. This is, I'm sure, really tough for everybody today. I want to say that Hugh was a huge part of our council, previous councils. I learned a lot from his passion for what he's done for this community, and I know that he'll continue being here with us to help us guide in those decisions. And I don't want to dwell on it too, because I know that he would want it to be, move on and quick and dirty, and that's just how he lived his life. And so I'm going to just leave it at that, because I will get emotional at this point, and I'm going to leave it. So if anyone else would like to add any words to this, please go ahead. Okay, so we'll do a moment of silence in respect of Hugh and everything that he's contributed to the time that we spent with him, and we'll start that now. Thank you, Council. And yeah, thank you, Hugh, for everything that you've done wherever you are. You were with us, and we're going to continue. Okay, we start with number 2, which is the adoption of the agenda. Is there any additions or anything else that anyone wants to add?
Did you move it?
You can move, Joe.
Yeah, I'll second.
Okay. And all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say nay. Okay, motion to adopt agenda is carried. Adoption of minutes. Motion to approve July 20th minutes.
Also move.
Do I have a seconder?
I'll second.
Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say nay. Move on to July 26, 2021 minutes. Any motion to approve? Seconder?
I'll second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say nay. Motion's carried. We move on to delegations, correspondence. We move on to 5.2.1, which is a request for letter of support from AODBT, which is from behalf of Nortec Council they're requesting a letter of support. Does anybody have any questions or any disagreement with this?
I don't have any questions. I know that those buildings are aging, and when you get that many units, it's a huge cost. So I'd certainly be in favor of supporting them to get the updates done on that building.
As anyone knows, trying to find rental accommodations in our community for people that are potentially low income and seniors, and being able to access that as a student, I know is extremely tough. And I know that if we can help somebody provide provide that much needed service, I'm absolutely okay with
Yeah,
letter support.
I would concur with both Councillor Berdisky and Councillor McPhail in terms of student housing. I think those are elemental, crucial pieces in the community because, like, if you're moving to Limoges to go to school, like, there's not a whole lot of choices. So definitely a yes for me.
Okay, we have a motion on the table.
I'll move to approve the letter of support for AOD BT architecture for the North Council.
Okay, any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, all opposed say nay. Okay, motion's carried. Okay, we'll move on to 6.3, which is a shoreline alteration request. Robbie, you're on the line?
Yep, I'm here.
Sorry. Yeah, go ahead.
So yes, we received an application from one of our residents here to alter the shoreline directly behind, well, I don't know if I can do the physical address on this one. Just looking that up here, sorry. But it's on leasehold, potential lease number 23 along the Orange Avenue. And they're looking to extend it from 75 to 100 feet. The WSA, Water Security Agency, contacted us requesting permission from the town in order to grant their permit to alter the shoreline, the bank of the water line. We didn't see any concerns with this. Also, we reached out to the parks manager, and they didn't have any concerns with granting permission as well.
So
So the applicant also has a valid 2021 upland shoreline lease with the town.
So the only question I'd have is, for a matter of process, is that if the town does approve the change in the upland shoreline lease, and sorry, if it's changing it from 75 to 100 feet, do we know if that is going to increase the current leaseholder fee based on our current shoreline policy? And the second thing is, if it is approved through us and they would like to alter the shoreline, does that require ministerial approval as well?
I don't know if it, sorry, what did you say, that last minister needs approval, or?
Would it require administrative environment approval as well, not just the parks? And
I don't think
and
so.
what
As far
comes
as I know,
first?
It's just they're building a pier, the breakwater to protect their boats and dock system there. So as far as I know, it's just WSA permits to put boulders in the water. And yeah, we could look at, for maybe the next year if the shoreline's different, but the usable area is probably the same. You're just adding boulders and items to create a pier.
So the question that I have is maybe under Land Use and Development Act or Ministry of Environment. I'm not sure which one would be triggered at this point, but the question I mainly have is, do we typically wait until we have approval from one of those agencies, not just the parks manager, to say that that is an acceptable thing for us to be able to do, or do we approve this or deny, or if it is approved, then it goes to those trigger points and they make those decisions at that point? That's where I'm
I
confused.
know on the,
Yeah,
go ahead, Robert, go ahead.
well, I don't know if you need ministerial approval or not. This is town boundary lines. I guess we'd have to, this would be a survey of the whole embankment of the lake, right? Similar to how we head to the Tremblay Street. Not too sure, like this is the first request we received, and I don't know if we need any other approvals. Basically, it just came down to the WSA contacting the town, requesting if they had permission from the town to alter, to create this breakwater in the dock system.
It makes council comfortable. I mean, we can table this to the next meeting and we'll come back with answers. And is there an urgency talking to Kelly there at all, Robbie, on getting this done?
I kind of think so. I know the WCA is looking to close off this permit. The dates on the application was last year, 2020. I guess the project was delayed a year due to COVID, I believe, but I guess they have been contacted by the WCA if we've reached, if we approved it or not. But I haven't been contacted by the applicant.
I'd be prepared to move in favor of allowing it to go ahead. I mean, if some minister comes along and overturns our decision, well, so be it, but I think I'd be willing to say that the town's in favor of it, and if we go in favor of the motion.
I can also brief council by email afterwards too, if we do find anything that we can put a stop on it too, but right now, from what I understand, WSA A is the principal regulatory body on this one that they're working on.
Councilor Bouchard?
The process with Water Security Agency to get an AHPP is a long one. Seeing that this applicant has applied for this last year, they didn't indicate on their application, obviously, that the town is the landowner, which is problematic, but Water Security Agency does obviously check that in their processing of permit. I would just like to maybe state that the town of La Ronge jurisdiction ends at the edge of the water. This is one of those weird gray areas that we are the adjacent landowner. It appears that Water Security and Parks don't have any issues with the extension of the pier, but from our perspective, policy and planning wise, we are going to have a downtown planning process happening, which will be looking at our shoreline, if I understand correctly. Does a 25-foot extension of a pier impact that? I don't know, but it's just my thoughts on that.
Just one more comment. The thing, he's already got approval to have the docking there. What he's looking for is being able to secure it and limit damages from the wind. So really, the material going into the lake will have to meet the standards, and that's the only sticky part, is that, you know, that it's got to meet the requirements.
Councilor Bouchard?
I would maybe like a little more information on how much unapproved alteration of the shoreline has already been completed in that, on that parcel, on that reserve parcel, because I believe I'm aware that there has been in the past alteration of that shoreline without permits. So I appreciate the process of going through a permit, but understanding the full extent of what has happened on that lot may be appropriate information for council to consider with this.
Okay, so is there a motion on the table for more information or approval?
I would personally be willing to move. I know, Joe, I'm not sure if yours is an official motion, but what I would like to put forward is a motion to conditionally approve the shoreline alteration request upon approval from the environmental
Water Security.
security agencies.
That's kind of one of those.
I'll second that.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah, go ahead, Robbie.
Well, right now, they're conditional upon us, they're waiting on us to, can have two conditionals through.
Oh, okay.
So, and that's where I'm struggling with, right? Because I don't know if Parks has the jurisdiction on the Ministry of Environment in that case. And that's where my struggle is to make an informed decision on this one, is if we approve it and it doesn't meet the standards for Ministry of Environment, who holds the bag here? That's where the liability issue is, where I'm having the issue.
I've seen situations where, you know, people are wanting to put sand and that down at the water's edge, and Ministry of Environment comes in and says you can't do that, because that wrecks, you know, little eggs and whatever else you have living there. So I don't know why they need our approval on it, like why we're holding it on. So.
Councilor Bouchard?
Environment and Water Security Agency do work very closely together on especially these issues. I think like Water Security Agency has jurisdiction over the bed and bank of the lake, which is why they're the ones that issue the aquatic habitat protection permits. So Water Security Agency and Environment are pretty much hand in hand on these issues typically. I think Parks, I don't recall seeing a Parks approval in this though.
We just confirmed that here this morning.
Okay, so Parks is okay?
Parks is fine with it.
Okay.
With that, I would, if the chair deems it friendly, I would just make the motion to approve the shoreline alteration request.
Okay, Robbie, sorry, did you have something else to add to that?
No, that's everything I have
Okay.
left on this time.
Okay, so you're changing your motion then? Okay.
Yeah.
So we need a seconder for that.
I'll second that.
Okay, we'll call the question. All in favor of approving, say aye. 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 Okay, all opposed say nay. All right, motion is carried. All right, we move on to, thank you, Robbie. Move on to building, oh, I guess this is coming back to Robbie. Building and development permits. Anything of significant change here, or that you want to bring to our attention?
Nothing too scary. I mean, everyone's been worried on building season kind of slow this year. Actually, just recently last week, received about 5 or 6 development applications for various accessory buildings and some minor renovations, but nothing major. This was definitely not a low year over the past history since I've been down. But basically, there's been a few permits, nothing building too really slow.
Okay, any questions for Robbie around this?
Nope, I'll make a motion to receive and file the building and development report.
Do I have a second here?
I'll second.
All approved, for goodness. All in favor, wow, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. Motion's carried. Is that it, Robbie, I think, for yours?
One more.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
everything.
there's one more, right?
One more later on.
Okay. All right, moving on to financial statements, 7.1, which is the July 2021 budgetary control report. And is there any questions about what's
I
presented
have one
here?
question regarding the finances. Have we already made motions to remove CFOs and all that?
Yeah, last meeting we did motion to.
That was like 6 years ago, in dad years right now. Just
Yeah.
making sure we got our bases covered.
We've got baby brain now.
It was
I apologize if I got some brain fog. but-
resolution there for connections to remove.
Awesome, okay, I will make the motion to approve the July 2021 budgetary control report.
Have a second here?
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. Motion's carried. 7.3, check registry for August 17th.
I'll make a motion to receive and file the check registry.
Or seconder?
I'll second.
Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, all opposed, say nay. Motion's carried. Bank reconciliation 7.4.
So if I can make a quick comment.
Sure.
Mayor, staff stepped up and actually we're doing these bank reconciliations a lot quicker.
Thank you to the staff.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Really appreciate that.
I'd like to make a motion to, is it receive and file or approve the bank reconciliations?
Receive file.
Receive and file the bank reconciliations.
Seconder?
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed, say nay. Okay, motion's carried. Okay, we move on to bylaws, which is 9.1, tax roll preparation timeline.
So if I can give a little bit of history for council here, so what's happened here is we were about to implement the taxes here at the end of July, and we were doing our balancing. We uncovered errors not only in this year's numbers, but last year's numbers. And so this is all part of the balancing process, and this is where we came out that the bylaw needed to be changed for the mill rate factors. So this is an error, and I'll wear this one, this is 100% my fault, but we caught some application issues. So the first bylaw here is just strictly to expand the deadline in the act, which is August 15th, and get the tax roll prepared. We're completely allowed under all forms of the act to extend it out 90 days. It's just a formality.
Okay.
And the second one tonight is to actually amend the mill rate factor because it was set up in a way that set up the multi-unit as a subclass on its own, which is not allowed under the Northern Act. So, I mean, I'll worry that one. That's me. I should have caught that before it came. But I can tell you that all the tax notices are ready to go. So as soon as we get it done tonight, they'll be in the mail tomorrow.
That was my question, so as far as people coming in and paying their taxes, if somebody received their notices already,
That was went out to
okay,
Yeah,
okay,
I'm
so,
a sticker for details and
Right.
we're send them out to the bylaws passed.
right, and then the mill rate has already been sent out, though, right?
Yes, the
So-
mill rate is there, we just need to adjust the mill rate factor.
Are we able to put something in, oh, sorry, so the mill rate has not changed, just the factor has to. Okay, no, then in that case, then I'm ready to go. I'll make a motion to have the first reading of bylaw 654/21, the tax roll preparation time mentioned.
Have a seconder?
I'll second that.
Any further discussion on that? Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay.
Do we need to have all three in one night?
Yes, please.
Okay, I'll make a motion to have the second reading of bylaw number 654/21.
I'll second that.
Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay.
I'll make a motion to have the 3 readings at this meeting.
Seconder?
So, go ahead.
As a point of order, it does need to be unanimous.
Correct.
I'll second.
So all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed say nay.
Yes.
Okay. And
I'll make a motion to have the third and final reading of bylaw 654/21, known as the tax roll preparation timeline extension.
seconder,
Second that.
all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say nay. Motion is carried. We move on to amending the mill rate factor bylaw, same situation to get that done and rolling.
I will make a motion to have the first reading of bylaw number 653/21, known as the mill rate factor bylaw.
Second.
Okay, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say nay. All right, motion's carried.
I'll make a motion to have the second reading of bylaw number 653/21, known as the mill rate factor bylaw.
Seconder,
Second that.
all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say nay. Motion's carried.
I'll make a motion to have, to request that all 3 readings done on this meeting.
Seconder,
I'll second.
okay, all in favor say aye. Aye. Councilor Bouchard, are you aye on that? Yeah, okay. All opposed say nay. Okay,
Oh, we have a third reading?
I'll second that.
all in favor say aye.
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 All opposed say nay. Motion is carried. All right, and then, so that property tax report is on top of that, right? So that's.
Correct. That's just
Fair
background
thing.
information, correct.
Okay, fantastic. So we move on to 10.1, which is the discretionary business application from 147 Cafe report.
And we'll declare conflict as I'm the applicant.
Thank you. Okay, Robbie, anything that stands out that we need to be specifically made aware
I guess, so we completed the discretionary use process, letters went out to the neighbors. We received 4 emails, letters of support from various community members in support of this business. And yeah, there wasn't any concerns raised. There was some recent discussions about the off-street parking requirements, but I believe this plan is still to provide cash in lieu off-street parking. Also shall be paid, in order to issue the development permit. But other than that, we didn't see any concerns. We move forward to approve this discretionary use application.
of. Okay, and I just want to point out here too that there was a 4th letter of support that was emailed to council. All council received that?
Yeah.
Okay, fantastic. Any other questions for Robbie?
So after this approval, there's still the building inspector and the fire chief have to go in and make their recommendations as to requirements for the building?
Great, once the discretionary use is approved, then we could then move forward with the building permit. Once the use is permitted, so now we could issue the renovation permit. I believe we already had preliminary plans review completed, so once it's approved, we should be moving fairly quickly to approve the building permit for it. And then, yeah, definitely the fire chief's been involved and inspected the property as well.
Okay, I'd like to make a motion. I move that having completed the discretionary use process for mixed-use development for the proposed restaurant, retail, dental, office, and multiple dwelling units located on Lot 2, Block 12, Plan Number CN1121 be approved upon receipt of all fees due and conditional to continue compliance with Section 4.19 of Bylaw Number 572/16.
And a seconder?
I'll second.
Okay, any further questions, comments, concerns? Okay, we'll call the question. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say nay.
Nay.
Okay, motion's carried.
Vote. Sorry.
Aye.
Brain fog. I can't be on both sides of it. I was already voted in favor, I cannot be on both sides.
All right, so you're in
I
favor.
heard
just for
say
record.
nay, and I thought this was Simon Says, so.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, Robbie.
Thanks,
Appreciate it.
Robbie.
Steve, run out the front door.
It's Roundup Counselors Night, hey? Everybody's straight.
Who's what?
Everybody's being straight.
Yeah.
I don't even have an excuse other than. Okay, I'd like to move at the end.
Sorry, hold on one sec.
Okay.
I'm just gonna add one thing into here really quick. just as a point of interest for council, it's not gonna be discussed at this meeting, it's gonna be pushed, but, there will need to be a call for a by-election. But the nature of it is just, it's too close and too soon, but just wanna make you aware of it that, as the procedure in the bylaw, or on the bylaw, in the elections, is that it has to be called the next meeting, which would have been today, but we're gonna, I don't know, I can't say I can veto it, but I think we'll just push it when it's more appropriate.
I think when we call the by-election, we have to know a date too, and I don't think we've reviewed the bylaws or the laws enough to know when that can even be, so I think at this point, that's fair.
Okay, all right, go ahead.
I'd like to move that we enter into camera.
And seconder,
Second.
all in favor say aye. All opposed say nay. All right, we are moving to in-camera.
Give it a few seconds to get off the live there.
Yep. And do you want to inform council what the procedure